Welcome to FSR, Free Spirit Radio, the Lie Hunters.
Hello. What is, therefore, the forbidden book, logic and science? I'm going to explain the idea. Hopefully, some of you will take part in this project. You are going to take the book of Iya. So the forbidden book is called the book of Iya. We changed the title because Iya in French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and Esperanto means AI. Because in the other languages, it's reversed. And that's why we changed by the forbidden book, so that the title is not creating a misunderstanding. All right. So the forbidden book, therefore the book of Iya. I'm going to expose a lot of things. It's already online, at least the beginning, in different parts. It's going to expose a lot of very weird ideas that are going to be, for you, very surprising and sometimes a bit difficult to understand. So the possibility will be to take a part that you are going to record, and you're going to record as well your question. Maybe you want just development about this part, or maybe you have a specific question about a short part or a long part, so you put directly in your question the presentation of the part that you want to work on, and after that your question, and you send that to me on Telegram. You have my phone number a bit everywhere, and I will take this part and your question, and I will develop through what I do now, different episodes, the presentation, therefore, and the explanation that you are looking for. And I will do my best. Most of the time, I will do it in English. Nevertheless, we have parts also in Spanish, in Italian, in Portuguese, in Esperanto. So if it's needed, I will do maybe one chapter in the language that you have been using, with the part that you took from the internet, and the question, the language that you're going to use for your question. So don't be disappointed if at one point in this playlist you find some answers that will be in a different language. Doesn't matter if you don't understand, jump to the next one, and so on. Anyone can take part in this project. Any one of you. You take a part, maybe the answer will be of 2 hours, maybe the answer will be of 5 minutes. What I want you to receive, what I wish you to receive, is something that the Forbidden Book is accessible to everybody. That a lot of different ideas that you are going to meet, they are accessible to you, with explanations. As I explained already before, I wish to be the mentor, the sensei, of everybody. Anyone, you don't have to meet me, you don't have to pay, anyone who wants to know more about one thing or the other one I will be at his or her disposal to explain completely, maybe technical explanation about an exercise. It is true that at one point I speak more about Tai Chi Chuan, Kung Fu, Karate Do, and yoga. So if you need a technical explanation for your practice about this or that, any question I will answer. It will be my pleasure. Also a lot about psychology and Carl Jung. So when you have a part, I would like to know more about this or that. For the present time, it's not that I start. It's far from being everything that is online. So you can use only what is online now. But slowly and surely, we'll put more and more parts so you can use whatever you want. To to show you directly, I'm going to play the game. I'm going to take a part about Gita Malash, and I will show you exactly what I can do directly now to give you some explanation that might be interesting, but also the protocol, so that yourself you feel free to take a part, to record, and I will not ask a question to myself in that case. I will tell you what the question could be, but I would just explain more things about Gita Malash on the part that I'm going to use now to make a demonstration and to offer you the first explanation that will be the beginning, hopefully, of a very long list. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever the language you want to use, you are absolutely welcome. Thank you. So it's going to be a part on Gita Malash, on the second part of the Forbidden Book. We have first part, second part, and after that, third part that were published with different chapters for you to be guided. So it's good to give the good part that you are going to expose now, so that people can go to see exactly in the book, in the Forbidden Book, which part you are referring to. So I'm going to give you the part first of all, and after that I will give explanations.
At the checkout, I realized my mistake. It wasn't a book by my teacher, but a work titled Talking with Angels by Gita Malash, edition Diamond. Intrigued, I read the back cover and discovered it was the story of Gita, who connected with angels during the war, an experience strangely resonant with my own spiritual encounters. I decided to buy it. The book captivated me immediately. After 2 days of work with the young people, I spent the rest of my free time devouring it. In less than a week, I had finished, and it left a profound impression on me. A few days later, while walking in Lyon, I stumbled upon a poster announcing a conference by Gita Malash. To my surprise, it was happening that very day on a nearby street. I decided to attend. The venue, a former cinema, was packed. Gita, a gentle elderly woman, answered questions with infinite kindness. When the microphone reached me, I asked her a simple question. Gita, when the angel spoke to you, your soul exploded like a divine firework. You entered into a marvelous ecstasy, an infinite joy. Aren't you afraid that one day you might forget all of this and return to being just an ordinary person? She smiled softly, then replied in a calm voice,
You cannot forget that. You have become something else forever, and you will remain so forever.
It was the shortest answer of the conference, just a single sentence followed by a benevolent smile. Other, more complex questions required long responses, but for me, those few words were enough. At the end of the conference, Gita had to cross the hall to leave, and as she passed near me, she placed her hand on my shoulder. She leaned in and whispered in my ear,
This is very good what is happening to you. Continue.
This simple touch felt like an encounter with the invisible, as if, through her, I touched the presence of angels. As I left, I felt an urgent need to meet her in private. But she was surrounded by a crowd of people, all wanting her autograph. Disliking this adulation of personality, I decided to leave, but once home, I felt foolish. I should have insisted, I should have approached her. The next day, determined to see her again, I returned to the cinema, hoping to find information about possible workshops or other conferences. As I arrived, Gita appeared on the other side of the street. She recognized me immediately, smiled, and said,
I see why I had to come back.
She asked me to wait a few minutes, and after taking care of some matters with the people at the cinema, she spent the day with me. We met several times afterward. Our friendship, though brief due to her frequent travels, was intense and precious. Gita and I shared similar experiences, deep sensations, and she immediately recognized, through my sincere question, that I had gone through experiences akin to hers. In the middle of this humanity of darkness, Gita is a sun, radiating beams of love and wisdom. Here are some of them.
To kill, to wage war, that's the habit, the routine, the most banal of daily grinds. It's a colossal layer of laziness. Yet habit is the mark of the deceiver, the cunning one. The angel's signature, on the contrary, is the new, the never seen, the never heard. The problem, my friend, is not violence but falsehood. The ultimate pedagogy for the nursery of humanity. The childlike man makes mistakes, the consequence of which is suffering. Then, if he has the slightest bit of intelligence and an ounce of common sense, he doesn't repeat them. Speech is action. Truthful, it uplifts. Deceitful, it buries. It is not death that is bad, but the task left undone.
As you are going to see directly in what is presented, you will send only recording something. But once we have the recording, we'll put back the part with the images, everything from directly the Forbidden Book. And then you will have your question. Why is it blah, 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 whatever it is. For me, what I want to present now to go completely into the demonstration and to give you something that will make you richer in this philosophy, it is that you mustn't believe that there's a methodology to be in contact with entities. That if you see it at that time with this protocol, with incense and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not that. The protocol is your complete life. For instance, Gita Malash, she was living in Hungary. And in Hungary, they were invaded or nearly invaded by Hitler, about to arrive. And they knew that everybody was lying. The German protocol, the army, everything that was presented, it was always a lie. So she was looking for the truth. She was, before when she was young, a champion of swimming. She was honestly committed into living for real. She was a champion for years, so she was super fit. And when she saw the sad evolution with the Third Reich, she decided to oppose to this. They decided with her friends to leave, to go to live somewhere else. And all of this created something. And every Friday, I believe, they had a meeting to discover the truth, to push away the lies. So I suppose it was mainly about the war, the politics, and maybe the beliefs. And by doing so, at one point, and it's the accumulation of everything that she does in her life, she's reaching a point where a door is opening. Something is happening. That's exactly what happened in my life as well. That's exactly what I describe in the Forbidden Book. That's exactly what's going to happen to Kingiku for those who will follow the book further. It is not a special trick. It is a special state of mind. And in the sentences that I gave as an example, it is, you can see that it's not something mystical to go into the stars, and it's really be committed in existence. Find the truth. Make your words true by your actions. Demonstrate it, because after that, with your actions, you agree with your words. You create a protocol of truth. And by practicing the truth, by looking for the truth, guess what? They answer to you to give you the truth. If you are just arrogant, if you want to show off with your cinema, do you really think that there's an entity of any kind that is going to come to talk to you, to teach you to be more arrogant, with more pretension, more arrogance, more power? So you are not talented because you have a superior soul and you can perceive what the others cannot perceive. Well, you are in a way, but you are not by your channeling or mediumnity. You are by the honesty of your life. You refuse the lies of the society. You refuse the lies of your family. You refuse your traumas, your fanatic beliefs. You evolve. You understand. And through this protocol that appears everywhere in your life of honesty, of commitment, then at one point you make appear stronger abilities for higher research. But if your life is simple, arrogance, money, that you want to pretend to be a fantastic psychic medium to get a lot of money, the protocol of what you want to develop, by definition, is not working. If you eat a lot of food from the fast food, you'll get fat and weak. And the protocol of spirituality of today, of the New Age, is to say, I go to the fast food, I eat the most horrible food, and I will get super fit, and I will be an Olympic champion. That's the presentation of a lot of people who have a life of disaster. They take drugs, they smoke, they're chaotic, lazy, they lie all the time, they promise something and they do the opposite. But after that, they turn to the entities and bingo, you have a fantastic teaching. I knew a guy, he came to my school and he explained that he was in contact with Ulysses. And Ulysse in French. I suppose it's more or less Ulysses in English. And I told him, you know that this guy never existed? He said, what? But no, it's not possible. He was talking to Jesus Christ and to Ulysses. Oh yeah, of course. No problem. And I said, it is like to be in contact with Pinocchio, you know? And the guy was completely lost. But in fact, what he explained was completely the extension of his life. It's a guy who was totally dreaming. He was poor. We hosted him in our school because he was really a tramp. And he was obsessed. He was really a beggar. And he was obsessed in the way that he wanted to develop a method to teach the rich people how to spend their money and to be happy in life. It never worked, of course. His project, or to be in contact with Ulysses, or Jesus Christ, because, we go directly to the Son of God, why not, let's go. It's the continuation of the chaos of his existence. If you want to go to a revelation by channeling, by being psychic, it's because you have been using everything that was given to you in your brain, in your intelligence, in your education. You've been using everything. You evolved, but you miss something else. So at one point, your brain is finding out the solution. You go higher because what you are looking for dwells higher, hidden somewhere. It's the application directly of neuroplasticity. When I became blind, I developed echolocation. So you click with your tongue, as I do now, and you listen to the echo. And your brain, that is occipital part, that is lobes, that are used to analyze the images, they are going to start to analyze the sounds. And with the neuroplasticity, after a short while, the information of the sounds will go to the occipital lobes instead of the visual information. The neuroplasticity will create new synapses to find a problem, to solve a problem. Now, if you see a little bit and that you use echolocation, most of the time it doesn't work. Why? Because the little vision that you have is better than echolocation. So your brain is saying, why should I do that? The same if you pretend to look for the truth. You read 3 books, you go to a Reiki session and whatever, and poof, you have the truth. You will never develop any contact because your arrogance is already making you fantastic. And maybe you can invent that you have an intuition, a channeling, but how would you justify? You already know, of course, you are the reincarnation of Cleopatra and Jesus Christ and Moses, like everybody else. So what do you need to get in extension of all of this? You're already divine, perfect, angel, blah, blah, blah. If you use echolocation, it is because you are blind or your eyesight is so limited that the sound will really help you. If you're a pseudo-searcher that is already sure that he has the truth because you can cure people by distance and you can apply astral journeys and you can walk through the walls and the pain doesn't exist and anyway you're immortal in spite of being the reincarnation of Cleopatra, blah, blah, which is weird because how are you the reincarnation of this one and this one if you're immortal? Because to be reincarnated, you have to die. Little problem. So you have an avalanche, a tsunami of things that are totally realistic. Therefore, you don't need to develop a new neuroplasticity to find the solution that you're absolutely sure to have already. Gita, she was really looking for the truth. Already with the war, already she was fighting to survive with her friends that were Jews. So she's putting everything into her research. And at one point, something else is happening. Because it's ready to apply the neuroplasticity. So what looks to you so fantastic? Yeah, it's fantastic to think that there are entities that can answer to you. But the fact that you contact them, it's purely neuroplasticity. That's all. And the neuroplasticity is existing because your brain is looking for a solution. If you have already the solution, this neuroplasticity will never exist. What was really cool between Gita and myself, it is that I am like her, into sport, extreme commitment, extreme honesty, caring about everything. When I met Gita, he was with, what is his name? I think Bernard Monteau. I'm not sure. I think it's this name. Bernard Monteau was a bit his secretary, bodyguard, everything. Son, a bit mixing of everything. I met this guy and I didn't like him at all. Because he was, according to me, super aggressive on many things. But at the same time, I loved his presence because he was totally in love with Gita. Really, completely in love. And I remember that there's a guy in the conference I was who started to criticize Gita. And he said something about the life, the example that she could be. And Bernard Monteau, he started to speak. He was furious. And he said, listen to me, I live by this woman every day. And you know what? Her old age, her experience, I want it for me. I want it. I want to be like her because she's fantastic. He was really like the son who is furious because an asshole insulted his mother. Full of love. And that I loved. What I didn't like is that Bernard Monteau tried to organize and to put a structure. And as soon as you put a structure, this honesty of committing yourself so that you have an intense adventure, it's maybe not the best way. On one side, I understand, because he wanted to stop the crazy people who are all in contact with angels, God, Jesus Christ, Moses, the aliens, and the Galactical Confederation, and all of this. So on that, he was pushing a real pressure to create something that was more balanced. But by doing so, you prevent the real adventure from your heart. In Japanese, we say kokoro. Kokoro means the pure heart. The pure heart and the pure spirit put together, well balanced. That is kokoro. Kokoro no kyo hitotachi wa saiwai de aru. Japanese, it means only the pure hearts are blessed. Yes, blessed in the way that if you have this pure heart and this pure spirit, then some doors can get opened. Don't take it like I am the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, of Cleopatra, of Superman, of Batman. Just be honest. And that we cannot deny. Bernard Monteau, I think he's still alive, was or is quite honest. And Gita was even more honest. And the people with her, extremely as well. So it is this real commitment, this honesty. Very often you wonder, if I meet somebody, how do I know that this person is really in contact? And I would tell you, check his or her life, what she does with her money, with her life, with her way of living. Is she funny, humble, committed to help? How could you be in contact with entities that are teaching you to be new, to be committed, to be honest, to be generous? If all your life is the demonstration of the opposite, then you are really a bad student. And if you're a bad student, the teacher doesn't come. When your spirit is ready, when your heart is open and ready, the master comes to talk to you. If you are not ready, the books are enough. The arrogance is enough. The politics, the religions are enough. To need something higher, it's because your life is the manifestation of all these qualities, and you want more and more so that you are more and more divine. So the divinity, whatever the manifestation, goes to you to help you in this protocol. If this protocol is not existing, you cannot be in contact. So it's another way to understand, to check. Okay, I wanted to give you this little example to help you to understand more, and the story that I present in the book, and the story of Gita Balash. And again, I repeat that you have a lot of interviews from her. Most of the time it is in French, but you can put the translation from Google, and it's working pretty well, so you have the subtitles in English. And of course, her book is really referenced. I don't work for her. I have nothing to do with Bernard Monteau or with the association that could exist now with this teaching. I just tell you honestly, I am honest, and Gita was totally honest, and the book is a manifestation of something deeply true. Look for the honesty, for the truth, for the love, and everything will happen, because this Holy Trinity will always open celestial doors. I hope that in this protocol, I will be there to help you. Thank you for your attention, and I will be waiting for your questions. Whatever the language, it will be my pleasure to answer. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. じゃあまたね。 Goodbye.